All right, all right, all right, all right. Welcome everybody to the takeoff to our live today. You know it's Friday, you know how we do. My name is Branlin. Super excited to be here with you today. I'm here with my lovely co-host.
Hey y'all, hey, happy Friday. Happy Friday. Happy end of the month. The last day of
Happy
the month, y'all. So that's a lucky thing, right? Last
It is.
Friday, last day of the month. I feel like it is. Maybe not.
And
Maybe I
you're
just
here
made
with
that
us.
up. So you're in
Absolutely.
luck today.
Listen, we are super excited to be here. My name is Branlin. I am with Never Unpacks, and I'm with my homegirl Tia Cooper, and you are with.
Y'all, I am Tia Cooper with Tia Takes the World, the Wonder Code, Take the World Travel, all of the things. And we're happy to be here with y'all. Y'all know every Friday we go live for the takeoff where we're talking all things travels. We're just two homegirls that love to travel the world, love to talk about travel in a little non-traditional way, to keep y'all laughing, keep y'all informed, and just giving you some value in our conversation. So without further ado, we're going to get started with the show today. We have a topic that we want to talk about. We're going to, like I said, educate y'all on it, maybe get a little shady with it, reasonably shady, drop some tea on y'all. And we're going to leave y'all with some motivation, some affirmations, and some good information that you need to know if you want to continue to take off, or if you want to start taking off on your own, or if you want to start making some coins doing it also. So we always start the show with a little motivation. And today's motivational quote is, the company you keep will shape the journey you take. The company you keep will shape the journey that you take. So Brenlin, what's your take on that quote?
Listen, I'm a true believer that birds of a feather flock together. So,
Period, boo.
um, and when we're together, like people can either influence you in a really, really positive way, or things can get a little rough. That's on and off group trips. So, who you with is a really big part of who you are and who you become and how you evolve as a person. What are your thoughts?
I mean, I echo those sentiments. Like you said, who you with? Who you with? Who you with? Get crunk. Who you with? I agree. The company you keep, like, essentially, and I think some people don't like to think that who you hang around is who you basically, like birds and feather flock together. Some people don't like to think that, and I don't take that to be Bible, but you got some tendencies that you like if you hang around people. You got some tendencies that are similar or that you mimic. So definitely the company you keep will shape the journey. Whatever y'all like is going to shape where you go, how you get there, and what you do along the way. So I can't wait to get into today's topic. Brandon, tell them what it is, what we're talking about.
So today's topic is all is fair, not in love and basketball, but in travel and in group trips. Okay. So Tia and I have been on a variety of different group trips. We actually been on a couple of trips together. There was one point in time in life where we had been on 0 trips together when we were the takeoff took off originally. We hadn't been on any trips. So we've been on some
How
trips
did
together.
that happen? How is that even
You know,
possible?
the one of the reasons, transparently, you guys, we travel a lot. And so there was a period of time where we were both. I was very more focused on going to new places, and she was going to new places as well. And so our travel paths just really weren't crossing, they weren't aligning at that time. I've doubled back to some places at this point. She's doubled back to a few places that she likes as well. But we fixed that in the last since the pandemic. Okay. And we're now
Yeah.
we have group trip experiences, not just ones where we've been members or been invited, but we've also have trip experiences of where um we plan them as travel agents and plan them not as travel agents, just as our
Mhm.
normal go-to people, of course. But let me tell y'all something. Group trips can either bring people together, or they can honestly expose friendships. And so we're kind of getting into the nitty-gritty of what that looks like in group travel. It might be a little shady conversation. All of our listeners, we love y'all. We love y'all deep, but we're gonna be honest, right? We're gonna keep it a buck with you. We're not gonna hide
The
it from the
bucket's
people.
gonna be kept. The bucket's gonna be kept, and y'all keep it 100 with us too. We love when y'all comment. You know, if you're viewing on YouTube, which is where we're super live at now, if y'all are catching a replay, then you're on YouTube. We've originally streamed on all platforms, but we want y'all over here on the tube, okay? So comment if you feeling us, all right? If you with us, if you not with us, you can comment too. We listen and we don't judge. We might respond, but we don't judge, okay? So we want you to share your experiences with us because we're gonna be sharing the raw experiences with y'all. And let me also put a caveat. Braylon and I had to push through to get here this Friday. We love these sit down conversations for the takeoff, but last weekend we was outside, okay? We was experiencing the world. 2025, me and my girl Brand have been inside for the most part, but we have not been taking off like we usually do. We have been adulting in 2025 because this is our year. Brandon said last week on the show, we celebrated her because she is working on her book, okay, her travel book. I want to give you a, let me find my sound effects. We're going to give you a round of applause for that again, because that is so amazing. We're so super proud of you. And like I said, we've been in the house because we've been working on major projects and getting the things done. Okay. So again, round of applause to you, Brandon. Super proud of you for everything that you're doing. So with that being said, just excuse us if you see us duck out of the screen, if y'all are streaming live, if you hear us coughing. We said we were going to make this. We were taking off today. So we love y'all deep. So make sure that y'all love us back with the comments.
I
All
might
right.
take off on somebody else's business, but I can't take off on my own. Okay. We building something over here.
Okay. All right. All right. All right.
Another day.
Whew.
All right. So we're going to get into this group talk, group travel, group trip discussion. We got a variety of different topics we're talking about. We're going to kick it off talking about money budgets and travel perks. Is it wrong to upgrade? We're going to talk about moving as a unit or doing your own thing. And then we're going to talk about friendships, expectations, and knowing who to invite on a group trip, y'all, because that is important. Okay.
So important.
But let's get into the very first one, which is money, budgets, and travel perks. And is it wrong to upgrade? So the kickoff question is, should you downgrade for the group? Or is it okay to level up solo? Now, I have traveled with Tia and I have been left on the other side. So I already know how she feels about this. I've been left, y'all. It's fine. I love her deep. I get it. I get that. But we're going to get into it. So before we get to her main one, I know which one she definitely going to be like, Miss Ma'am. I ain't even going to hold y'all. Y'all, baby girl has left me at the gate. She has left me at the hotel. I'll hold off. Okay. So the first question is first class versus coach. Should you feel bad for upgrading?
No.
You shouldn't. I don't think you should.
Absolutely not. I mean, we're already going on a trip together. I also have to hold your hand on the flight. Like, I can't sit on your lap. Like, I'm not talking to you during the flight. I'm either taking me a nap or watching me a show. You know what? No, I don't feel bad for upgrading. I wouldn't feel bad if somebody else upgraded.
You know what this made me think of?
What's that?
Home Alone. I don't know if anybody realized, but the parents that they kind behinds in first class.
And the kids in the back, y'all didn't pay for none of this.
They had that all the way in the back on their trip to Paris. They were headed to Paris.
And are we faulting the parents for that? For spending their hard-earned money on?
As a kid watching the show, my first thought was, they tried it. Now they left me and now they leaving me.
But as a kid, you're not even thinking about that, right?
I mean, I'm pretty sure the kids enjoyed their freedom in the back. In the freedom in the back. I felt bad for the flight attendants because they had some bad behind kids. That you rude to leave your kids like
fair
enough with other people.
Fair.
But I also kind of feel like watching it as a kid, I was like, oh, they tried it. They left. My mama would never leave me in the bag. That's what I was thinking. My mom also ain't had no first class ticket neither, so that's a whole nother. She didn't leave me in the back.
I think it's nuances to it. I think it's nuances to it as well. Like, did they have to pay for those first class tickets or were they upgraded? Was it because that's the conversation too? If you're at the front desk and you just happen to come into a situation where when you get up there, they say, oh, you're lucky number 17. We have an upgrade opportunity available for you. Oh, I'm traveling with this person. We don't have it for them. Also, we only have it for you. I'm saying maybe that didn't happen with the parents, but I'm thinking in the situation where we're talking about traveling group trips, like that's happened between me and Travis before. They said you can get business class. One of y'all can get business class, the other one cannot. Who's gonna take it?
I feel like if I'm with my man, I know you and Travis don't sit together as it is.
Mm-mm,
You will
mm-mm,
see him
mm-mm.
at the destination. We got here together. We will get off the plane together. We do not have to sit together. Now, I feel like, baby, I'm not gonna, you not leaving me in first class. I'm not leaving you in first class. Like,
Oh,
we
that's cute.
classing together.
That's so
Okay.
cute.
Whether there's enough room for the both of us, there's no room for neither of us. That's
That's
how
so
I kind
sweet,
of
Berlin.
feel.
That's so sweet. I love that
That's
for
how I
you.
feel today. I also, just saying, I'll leave that blank. But anyway, I will say about these home alone parents, as I've become an adult, I do feel different. I
In what
understand the
way?
hard-earned work that it takes to
Okay.
get a first class ticket, and I would leave you in first class. And it looks like we have one of our viewers. Elle says she only feels bad about upgrading a flight if it's her mother, spouse, or child. Anybody else getting left? I agree. I'm not against this one.
Elle, you're so sweet. Elle, you're so sweet. Thank you for tuning in every week and giving us some engagement. I appreciate that. I can see that if I was traveling with my mom, ma- definitely I wouldn't take the upgrade. I would say that she could because I travel frequently. My mom doesn't travel as frequently. So she had that opportunity, and when she does travel, it's not first class or business class. So if they were like, one of y'all can get it, I would give it to her. I wouldn't leave her to do it though. I don't have children yet. Can't speak on that because, as Brenlin said, today might be different than tomorrow. What I have to say, spouse, y'all already know that me and Travis already don't sit together as is, not because we don't love each other, because we do, but because we love each other, we don't. We both know we want that window action, and that's how we move. So definitely feel you, Elle. Not on the spouse and maybe not on the kid, but the mother, my mother. Yeah,
Your
I got
mother, absolutely not leaving her. Now, here is definitely where we chuckle at. So, when it comes to TSA PreCheck, global
you.
entry. Now, TSA PreCheck, everybody should be familiar with TSA PreCheck. TSA PreCheck, you do like a little sign up situation. It's like almost $100 these days. You get to keep on your shoes, your everything
Your
in your
belt.
bag, all of that. So, and typically the line used to be shorter,
It just
but
depends on what
everybody
day,
is
at what
and they
airport.
taking everybody's coin these days. So that line has not
Mhm,
been as short, but it does flow. It moves, right?
mhm.
Global entry is an interview process. It's for people flying back into the States from out of the country. You don't
Ooh,
have to
global
do the
entry.
whole passport line, which is typically long.
Mhm.
I actually have not applied for global entry. Have you done that?
I'm
You have
looking
global.
shocked as if I just didn't do it last year.
Yeah,
I
I
was
did.
looking shocked
I
at
haven't
you.
done it because the only one that does global entry is the US. And I just kind of feel like where I've been flying in, those and the times I typically fly in, I don't have no, don't
Fair
tell the
enough.
secret.
I agree, but I did it because it came.
Mhm. Mhm.
I told y'all it's a struggle today, but because it came up like as a free perk with my credit card, they
Ooh.
offered it to me. They offered me free global entry and TSA pre-check. So I was like, okay, why not? And I used it for the first time when I came back for Christmas, I believe it was. And y'all, I don't know what I've been missing out on. All the years that
Yes,
I was
you have.
traveling back and forth, living abroad, literally, I walked up. I couldn't even lift my head up good on the screen for it to read my face before it said, "You can go ahead." I said, and I looked at all the people in the line. I said, "Oh, okay, ta-ta. See y'all on the other side." It was so
So
amazing. It
Travis
was
does
so
not
good.
have global entry.
Not yet. We're on
And
the way.
and
We're working
and
on it.
then but right now in the interim with him not having global entry, are you leaving him in the passport line?
He wasn't with me on this last trip, so I don't know. I haven't been life tested on it, but no, essentially, no, I wouldn't leave him because I mean, I'm gonna be waiting anyways. Like, even if
Right.
I get ahead to get to my bags and stuff, which all of that stuff came super quick this day. But yeah, no, I think if we were flying together, I probably would just kick it with him instead. I would wait it out with him.
Now
Yeah.
TSA pre-check, y'all. I'm probably gonna leave y'all, and I'll just wait on the other end of the world. Like, I mean, on the other end of security, because that's just too much. Us, it's absolutely too much.
And you know, I
Um,
also think with TSA pre-check, it's different because you are entering into the airport. I think with like a global entry, because you have to wait to exit the airport, that's a little bit different. With
yeah.
TSA, like I'm going in, I have to check in well, I've already checked in my stuff, but for me, I'm going to the lounge. You know, I'm trying to get inside and relax. Even if I'm not going to the lounge, I'm trying to get in and relax. I don't want to wait in this long line. So yes, I'm probably gonna leave you. That's happening.
Speaking of lounges, that's also in this list set. So TSA
We can talk
PreCheck,
about it.
1000%. We are leaving you guys. Let me tell y'all something. So my mom moves a little bit slower these days. So we also get her wheelchair access, which is free for
Mm.
elderly citizens of the world, global and domestic and abroad. So we get wheelchair access. Let me tell you, that lady beat me through everything. Okay, because them wheelchair folks be moving. Like they be moving. They be sending me like, you gotta go back through this line. We're gonna take her over here. Like, she just gonna leave me. Oh, okay.
They
They get her
accommodate the
bag.
people that need to be accommodated. I love that. I
Yes,
love
they get
how
her bag and
different
everything.
airports.
And if I'm caught up in the line, they head her to the gate. She beat me to the gate last time. I was like, how long you been sitting here? Because
And she just chilling.
just chilling. I think they stay with her. Some people stay with her.
Mm-hmm.
And then some people will dip out, I guess, if the airport is really busy. But
Yeah.
very
So
nice
they have to
service.
get somebody else.
The only thing I've been really confused about with the wheelchair service is, are we supposed to tip them? We supposed to give them a little something?
Probably. I mean,
Probably.
even though that's their job, even if it's an extra serve, especially if it's an extra service, but even if it's their job, they're taking care of your loved ones while you're not having to do it. So yeah, absolutely. Absolutely tip them. Tip those people.
Okay. When I have cash on me, I think me and my brother tipped one guy in Dubai. We did tip one guy
Mm-hmm.
in Dubai. And the other lady in Jersey, she didn't even look for a tip. It was almost like she wasn't expecting one. I think I'd be trying to read their energy. If you look back, I might try to fumble through my purse for a couple of dollars. But if you like, all right, y'all have a great day. Like, I'm like, all right, thank you for your service too. So chime in the comments for those of you that have utilized
What you
this
hit this
service.
right here, Brad? Like where's my wallet is somewhere around here. Let me.
I'm sorry, I don't have it. We have a comment coming in from Deidre. She says she allows somebody to make her feel bad about PreCheck and will never, girl, don't you let them people do that to you. No, ma'am, Miss Pam, let them be. Don't feel bad
Feel
when you
bad
put
how? Like feel bad how? What are you? What do?
You
I'm gonna
so
make you feel
sweet.
bad back. Like you're gonna leave me here. I'm not leaving you. You could sign up probably. There's probably a sign up process that you could do, or you could probably do it on your phone while you're waiting in line. So that
You
no,
so
okay.
sweet.
Well, I'm gonna go through and I'll send you a link if I can find it once I get through. I'm
So sweet. TSA PreCheck. And then sometimes the TSA people are pretty good. If you're like a spouse or a couple or a family and the other person doesn't have it, they tend to kind
let
of
you
make,
all through.
yeah, they do make you, they
Oh.
kind of let you out through. So that's pretty cool. Okay. So in this group, we had TSA PreCheck, we had global entry. And then the other question is lounges. Should the group stay together or move separately? Look at Tia sipping her tea, y'all. I have been on multiple group trips and I've been left outside the lounge. Now, when they can
You've
get
also
me
been on
in,
group trips where you've been given access into a lounge or given opportunities to get access. Okay.
get my last in the south.
Because you've been telling these people like I be leaving you and not trying to help.
You have left me. I
I
just
have.
said I've
I
also been
have.
on group trips when they have the extra access. I get pulled in. So I've been appreciative. I think the last one we went to Cyprus, I think everybody was accounted for. So I went to, interestingly enough, I went to duty free and people sent me orders. Like, can you grab this? I should have said no. Y'all should get out of there. People like, can you pick this up while you in there? Girl, you ain't, girl, what? But no, my friends have definitely been helpful, I will say, in saying, like, this is how you need to get your lounge access. And actually, I did get an email like a month or so ago. One of my
You
cards,
still have not got lounge access, Brenlin.
because I was trying to, like I tried to tell y'all then, the cards that I have did not have lounge access. However, who I
You need to
bank
switch
with
some
now,
cards. Okay.
sent email the other day saying I need to see what lounges I have new access. So
Oh, look at you upgraded. Let me
so
upgrade you. Okay, Beyonce.
you see how the lounge people be treating you, be like, and they, y'all,
Very helpful.
Tia has left me in the airport. She also has left me at the hotel to get to a lounge. Okay. So she
What
don't
triple
remember this.
features?
We was in Amsterdam to see Beyonce, and
Oh.
we looked up, and baby girl was like, "I'll
Y'all
meet
didn't
y'all."
look up. I gave y'all fair warning.
We looked up, and the girl was like, "I'll meet y'all at the airport." Like, now she sped out of here.
They have very good breakfast selections at the airport lounge. I don't. And for those of you who may not know, let's fill you in on what the lounge access gives you and even how you can get it. So lounge access is when you check into the airport, drop off your bags and things. Now, some of them can get pretty deep. Some of them will meet you at the check-in, check in your things for you. Some of them have airport transfers, just depending on how deep down the rabbit hole you go. But generally, when you get checked in, go through it's not TSA when you're abroad. When you go through either TSA or you go through customs or whatever, getting your things checked, they have these lounges that are set up. They have free food, free drinks, soft and adult like. They have some of them have massage areas, some of them have sleeping pods, some of them have showers. It just depends on where you are and the amenities that they have. So I found out when I moved abroad, one of our friends had been gallivanting the world and said, "Hey, do you guys have lounge access?" I said, "Lounge? What do you mean? I'd just be sitting in Gen Pop." At the time, I didn't think it was Gen Pop. I thought that's where everyone sat. Come to find out, there are these little crevices in the bike that these people are chilling in. Y'all, changed my whole life. I found out at that point. I said, "Well, how do you have it?" I said, "You probably get it through your credit card, your debit card, your banking." Let me find this out. Ever since then, life has been changed. I only get cards to have lounge access. If you don't have lounge access, you don't have me. You don't get my annual fee. You don't get me. Nothing. Okay? Love my
Now
lounges. If you didn't
I
realize.
have Tia, the Cooper family is very firm believers of lounges. Okay. And most of the people that I travel with, they actually like lounges. I am not a big lounge girl. I do like the lounge.
Mm.
Let me clarify. I love the lounge. However, typically the lounges that I've seen are all just too far from the gate. And I be feeling like I don't like that. I feel like too much happens in the airport between the time I get there and whatever. Now, the other thing is I be gambling with my flight life. And
I was wondering if you was gonna tell on yourself because you be showing up to the airport in the nick of time. I can't. The nick of time.
Tia definitely is 3 hours ahead of time, and I will get there 90 minutes.
She texted, where was we going? Beyonce? She texted and said, "I just got here." I'm like, we getting ready to go to the gate.
I know. I'll meet you guys at the gate.
Okay.
And I did.
Okay.
I mean, I went straight from check-in to the gate. I have my life timed accordingly. Like I
don't understand how that is less of a stress for you than going to a lounge that may be further from your gate. I'd rather at least be in the vicinity.
I feel like I'm gonna make it. They said I would.
You do as long as you make it. Who is that? Donnie McClurkin.
They said I wouldn't make it.
Is that him? Whatever the songwriter is, she be making it. So if it works for you, let it work.
Okay, so out of the lounges that we talked about, my favorite lounge is Boston. I do love Boston's lounge. I actually have paid to be in Boston's lounge. It's comfortable. There's showers. The bathrooms are amazing. It's the Emirates lounge at Boston coming back to Dubai. Reason why I love that lounge is because it connects to the gate. Once I'm in there, I don't leave.
You ain't got to worry about nothing.
Yeah, so once you get up there, you can wash, you can do whatever you like, you can eat, you can drink and be merry. And then the boarding call starts and you start boarding from the lounge is literally like on the top floor. I don't know if it's the third or fourth floor, but you board from there. You take the escalator down to actually towards the gateway to actually get on the plane. Favorite lounge is the one in Boston for sure.
Looks like we got one of my faves. We'll get to one of my faves since we're on that was Bahrain. So we took a group trip to Lebanon, I think like several years ago. I'm pretty sure it was a trip to Lebanon. And our group decided that we were going to have a super long not super long, but a long enough layover to go out in Bahrain to party. And we did. Shout out to Club Wranglers. We went out there and we turned up, had us a time. If y'all don't know, Bahrain is like a military town. So like when you go out, generally you go out earlier in the night because the military presence is very heavy. And when the military leaves to get back on base, they have to be back at like 12 o'clock. They leave at like 11 or something. It's basically the club leaving. So we looked around and we're like, oh, everybody gone. Okay. Now, granted, we had our time. Anyways, long story short, we ended up having the layover. We went to the Bahrain airport. This is when they had just opened a new sector of it. Y'all, we went into that lounge. They had foot massagers in there, rain showers. Like the food was It chef's kiss, like everything was on par. I don't know what's happened since then, but the last time I went, I was not that impressed. But since then, I've gotten access to the MX Centurion lounges.
Mm.
And let me tell y'all, that thing right there is top tier. They have a speakeasy, like a hidden room in their Centurion lounges that you can go. Like, I ain't gonna tell you too much. I done told you enough. Get that MX. If you need a referral code, let me know. I give you that referral code so you can get some bonus points. But we do have a comment from Deidre. She said, my group prayed for me and went on their way, but I love them. I don't know if this was a group trip that I was on with Deidre or if this somebody else, but at least they prayed for you. I think it was because we did have a little prayer session. Now, to be fair, we couldn't stay there with you, Deidre, the whole time, or we would have missed our flight. But we sent you off with a prayer. I don't know if this is us or somebody else, but we love you. We do. We really do.
I appreciate it. Elle says she loves a lounge. It's the only reason she goes to the airport early. I get it. Like, if I think, you know what, I be cutting my time short because I know I ain't about to be sitting here with all the rest of these folk. Like, I ain't about to do all that. Like,
but now
so,
you have lounge access, so it'll be different.
inshallah, I ain't even look at the perk because I really do be moving like 90 minutes. Like, I like airport 30. And I have gotten into airport sizing. I'd be like, oh yeah, RDU. Main security, that's gonna take like 15 minutes tops. Airport small, only one level. Boom, boom, boom. Like, that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. I be airport. I book flights based off the airport I'm landing in or going to. I understand what I got to do when I get there. Okay.
That's why you
Jersey,
are
I
a
got to go
travel
all the way around the
professional.
mulberry bush. That's a whole nother. I have to allot time for the mulberry bush.
That's
But I
why
get
you are a travel professional. You pay attention to detail. It's the attention to details for us.
that part. Okay. Now, a part of this topic also talks about budget. And there's a couple of statements that in developing the episode I was looking at, and I was just kind of like, if you can't afford to go on a trip, why are you on the trip?
Ooh.
And what are we supposed to do? Like, if you don't have, if you can't keep up and you are not okay with not keeping up, that's a problem. Now, if you can't keep up and you be like, y'all, that's all right. Y'all go on, enjoy. And you have your moment. Like,
So
you
what are
just
we
be
talking
here.
about in terms of if you can't afford it? Like what are we talking about? What are these terms around?
Like, so if someone can't afford the full trip experience, should they stay home? Like, they can't afford to do everything. I feel like if you can't afford to do everything, then you should do what you can do. But if you
I
are
agree.
looking for me to contribute to what you can't afford to do, now that's a problem.
Oh yeah, no, this no, absolutely no. I'm paying for me and mine. That no.
Me and
Okay, yeah,
mine.
no. You should stay home if you're looking for contributions that weren't offered, I think. But if you are transparent enough with yourself and your friends that are going on the trip to be able to say, I know y'all are going tubing, or I know y'all are going to the club and gonna get a section. I can't do all of these things, but I am gonna go on the trip. Don't worry about me. I'll be cool in the back. And
Listen,
also, if that's you and you're being honest, because I feel like people get on these group trips and they be like, yeah, I can't do everything. And I'm okay with that. But then when they get on a group trip, be looking like sourpusses. Why is your face down and sad? What we talked about this. You said that you couldn't afford it, and that's okay. But don't be looking for us to give you what we not about to. I think that's a problem.
I do think that's the problem. Like, as far as now, I also feel like I'm not gonna make you feel guilty about what you can't attend or what you don't want to attend. Because sometimes I don't know if you're not coming because you don't want to come, or you're not coming because you can't afford to do that. But I also kind of feel like, and somebody sent me one random
That
story.
don't matter to me. Whatever you like. If you ain't coming because you don't want to come or because you can't pay, either way, you ain't coming. If you ain't coming to tubing, okay. I don't like. Now I'm saying that harshly, but I am the same person that if I know you can't afford it and I can afford it, I am that same person that. Go ahead, tell your story, Brad. Before I be telling on myself and people be looking for me to pay for something.
I just also feel like, so somebody sent me a reel of when this girl went on a group trip to Egypt, and then they end up hopping to another country, and maybe it was a
That
last
was
minute
planned.
decision.
The
I
hop was
think
planned.
I think they needed to. I don't think they bought it in advance. And the girl was like, something was wrong with her card. And so she asked the other girl to get her flight. The other girl got her flight, and then it was like the girl in the video was hilarious. The girl was like, "Oh, you a scammer." Because she ended up telling her like, I'm gonna pay you back. Ended up not paying her back. And then was like, well, she was like, just refute it on your credit card. Like, just say that
not you trying to get me to scam too.
She was like, oh, you a scammer. I was like, oh, that's crazy. But I will say if you traveling with a Tia or a Brenlin, okay. Now, typically we spell the things out for the friends, okay. So
All the way.
you know in advance how much all things will cost, okay. And then for the things that we're like, don't know how much you might want to budget for this, but this is an activity. I will or will not be participating. You should plan for this range of money. I did the same thing when girls group trip we just did to Bali last summer.
Which looks so amazing.
It was a great time. I literally sent them like, hey, this is the cost of all these things. And these are the cost of things I don't know. Well, this is what I don't know. I don't know how much this is really going to cost us. But if you're interested in it, we can do a little bit deeper research. Let me know. But you should plan for this big amount to include your flights, but not meals. Like I am that type of person. But to go on a trip and you don't have no numbers.
You can't expect everybody to do that. Like you said, we do this. That is what we do, but we are travel professionals. You can't expect, like you said, you're not going on a trip and you don't know nothing. You don't. Here's a tip. This is extra tea for you. Never go on a trip thinking that what you paid for before you get there is all that you need. I don't care if you even at all inclusive. Don't ever go on a trip thinking that I've paid for everything, so I'm good. Like your account on zero by the time you leave your origin destination, and you like, I'm good. I don't need any money because my transfers are paid for, my flight is paid for. I'm at an all-inclusive resort, so I can eat everything there. Don't do that. I can't even lay out the amount of what ifs, emergency wise. But on the other side, what if you just want to do something? And in these terms, we're talking about group trips. The group might be doing something. You sitting up there like, dang, ain't nobody told me to budget nothing. They shouldn't necessarily they might not give you like me and Brandon, but they might not tell you all of those things. But you should have a little extra cash in your pocket in case you want to do something, or in case something crazy happens. That's just me.
Exactly. And there's cases where you just like look up something and it's like, we were in Cyprus. I think we walked by someplace and it was like the dive. It was a diving situation where they would take us out and we were like, do we got time to do this? We got time to we want to get these 4-wheelers. We got time to do that. Like,
a little tubing situation. I don't think that was not an itinerary to do the little tubing thing. Like nobody had planned for that. Great. It was so much fun. So glad that we did. But what if I was the one on the trip that ain't nobody told me that that's what we was doing? And it's like, oh, I need a little piece of $20. I don't got $20. Well, y'all go ahead without me. I'm gonna just sit on the side. I mean, that's cool, but
something about it ain't right. Just have your coins, and if you ain't got it to participate, then be okay with sitting at the house or the hotel or wherever else you paid to be.
That's a word.
That's okay.
Be okay with sitting out.
Now, there's one of these things says who pays for what, and I was so confused by this question. I said, "What you mean who pays for what?" Talking about splitting costs fairly versus unnecessary arguments. Now, I do got something on this, but
I do too.
If we talk about just general trip, we just generally tripping. First of all, I ain't splitting no dinner tab with you in city where we live. I'm not doing that. I'm definitely not splitting no tab on vacation. Now, the only way I'm going to end up splitting a tab on vacation is if for whatever reason we ended up in one of them 3-course tasting experiences and everybody with the exact same thing, or it's a little bit off just a bit. That is a thing. Okay. I don't mind evenly splitting. Now, there are some other cases. Funny story. If somebody orders adult beverages that come in tiny cups and you just kind of shoot them back, and they say they gonna pay for them, should we be splitting that? Oh, not that.
Hold on, run it back, Brenda. I'm sorry. I was choking on the laughter that I had from the setup of the question. Can you rerun the question back?
So if somebody orders a round of drinks for the table and they say, I got it on me. And then when the bill comes, my bill got the drink. Who responsible?
What? The person don't be responsible. What are you asking? Is this a real life situation? Because if
Oh,
so,
we've
I
been
need to
there.
know how it ended.
We've been there.
How did it end,
I've been
Brenlin?
there. I've been there. I've been at the table. I just went ahead and paid for it. Some other people did not. Some other people said, this need to go on their bill.
Why did you pay for it?
It was just too much at the time. But it was too much. It was too much discussion. It was too much discussion.
Well, we're gonna have to sit
Now,
and discuss. I discuss for a living. I talk for a living, so let's discuss it. Where you said you was paying for these. What are you doing?
listen, there. Okay. Ooh. Okay, so I got another question for you.
Okay.
Case in point, and I love my girls. I love my girls. Somebody said not me. They said not me.
Period.
They not paying. Not me. Thank you, Strand Galore and more. Said not me. Okay. This is I got another one for you. Okay, so you guys, we gonna plug it in a little later, but I can plug it in right now. Tia and I are travel agents. We are in the business of travel. And if you're ever interested in joining the travel business, you can check out travelagentworkshop.com. My sponsor code is Never Unpacked. Tia's sponsor code is Take the World. And the beautiful part about being a travel agent is one of the things that I love is we have access to so many different vendors and all of the different things that they have available to them. And when you're booking things like a Beyonce concert in
Come on now.
Paris, you get
Come on.
options. Okay, you have options. And when I tell you the hotels are tiny and they cost a lot of money, having a travel agent option is really good. Okay, important. That's important. That was a shameless plug for us. Okay, very important there. Now, here's the thing. If I'm booking the trip as the friend who happens to have travel agent
Credentials.
and I can utilize my credentials to ensure that we have a cost-effective trip. And there is an odd number of people going, which means there will be some people sharing a room and probably one person not. Do I pay more money?
Ooh, I didn't think that's where you were going with this.
Or do we split this evenly?
I see both sides of it. I can see how
With that Grace show.
Y'all, I be wearing her out. But I can see both sides of it. I can see how it would be, baby, you got your own bathroom, you got your own bed, everything. You should be paying more. No, I'm standing that. The person that has their own should be paying more. Maybe not like astronomically, but you should be paying more because you do have your own. I mean, that just makes sense. It's like you're getting an upgrade or something. Yeah, I'm standing it. What y'all think? Y'all put in the comments, please, because
yeah, let us know. Now, I would say, to be fair, let me I'll tell you my truth and my transparent truth. I am paying a little bit more because it's Paris and I feel like I need room and I need space. Y'all don't know them rooms is tiny, y'all. The Paris room, like it feels like a
Europe
college
in
dorm room
general.
sometimes. You can reach out and touch the wall. And my arms are short. I don't have a wingspan like LeBron James. Like I can touch both sides of the walls. So I did volunteer to pay a little more money to have the single room. I think somebody offered to pull straws, and I was kind of like, "Nah, I done booked the trip, and
so you're feeling like because you have gone the extra mile, you automatically should have gotten it. And did you feel like in the beginning you shouldn't have paid more?
It wasn't a feeling. It wasn't a feeling. Just in case my friends are watching, this is not shady. This is a real honest. I went through the process of these thoughts. Like it wasn't that I felt like I should have, but it was one of those. Well, should I? Should I be? If I'm doing the legwork and we not getting this rate without me.
I mean, but on the other side of it, and again, a shameless plug to anybody that books trips or looking to be a travel professional. Yeah, you went through the legwork, but at the end of the day, you're going to be collecting a little coin, ain't it?
I am. No, because this one is actually
You're getting our perks from it. Okay. Yeah, understandable.
So it wasn't a kickback. If it was a kickback, that's different, right? But there's There's no commission on this. This is
Which we can, those are things, again, if you want to know more information, visit Travel Agent Workshop or reach out to Brelin and I, and we can tell you what the differences in those things are, because sometimes you do have to weigh those options. I mean, yeah, you're getting a bigger room. You gonna have to pay a little bit more, Bria. I mean, you're resolved in that. But I'm curious to see what the people out there saying. We have people viewing right now. Write in the comments, like, do you think that you should pay more because you did the legwork? Because that is a factor in it. That is a factor.
Here's the other catch. Now, not even just pay more. Let's say, just because you planned the trip, do you get the bigger space on a group trip? Do you automatically get the best room because you did the planning?
Come on, housewives. Yes. If I'm the host, absolutely, I get the best room.
With no additional payments. With no additional, you don't pay more.
You ain't say that. That's not what you said.
If we stay, no, I'm just saying, like, if we stay, like, we've done this. We stayed in a villa before, and all rooms are not created equal in the villa.
That is true.
Matter of fact, we've done some staycations, and I think I told you, I said, I can't stay in a room like this no more. This ain't got no window. Like, you
did. You did. I remember that. Yes. Mm-hmm. That was years ago. I do remember that.
I'm paying equal, but I ain't got no window. I think I said that out loud, and it was kind of like, it wasn't received by everybody well, but
I was about to say I received it because I'm like, makes sense.
But there's people that are like, I don't care.
Yeah, I think it's not necessarily a nuanced situation, but it is a nuanced situation. Like, do you pay for your stay based on the size of the room? Do you pay on your stay based on the effort that was put in? That's my.
My girl L said time is payment. I agree. I wholeheartedly agree. I don't think I've ever argued with anybody who said we just giving you examples of trips we've been on. We went to Cyprus together. I think automatically you got the big room. There was no question in that. Now it's always an interesting, that was the largest group trip I've been on. And I thought it was a very interesting toss up on how the rest of the rooms got divvied out. It was kind of like you had to be moving with the quickness. I wouldn't say it got messy, but it definitely gave some. Now, how are you doing the rest of this? Because how do I end up in this room and we all pay equal amounts? One thing I do try to do when I do book group trips is that rooming should be equal, like size of rooming, styles of rooms, because.
Like you're saying, like in the room, like where you're booking everything, you want it to be equal so you don't come up with these types of things.
Yeah. Because I do be side-eyeing people like, wait a minute now, we paid the same coin and I am down here in the basement with no window.
Fair enough. I mean, on that same trip, somebody did also offer to sleep on a blow-up mattress. So, and they paid a different amount. They paid a separate amount. I'm just saying, like, I just think it's a nuanced type of thing. And like you said, with that trip too, like it was like a jump in, jump out. It was some layered on who was coming with it, which gets into the crazy parts of group trips. Now, because I don't want to miss this point too, and I want to ask you and the people watching a question as well, because I thought that your initial question was about when you go on a group trip, who pays. I thought that you meant like in the sense of, so me and my homegirls are going to Tulum for a extended weekend getaway. Who's putting up the money for the Airbnb? That's what I thought you meant in that sense. And then it gets into the who is paying and how do you make sure that that this person is getting their money back? That's what I thought that you were going from the point of. And I'm wondering from the people who are viewing, whether you're on the live, hey, y'all viewing live. It's a lot of y'all on here right now. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Comment and let us know who pays for that. When you're going on a group trip that isn't organized by a travel professional, who picks up the tab? Now, Braylon, before you was a travel professional, who did that? Because then we can get into what that looks like and why people do rely on people like us. But what does that look like?
Oh, I collect coins. I tell the group, like, this is what the cost is. And then this is the deposit or whatever. Excuse me. Excuse us, y'all. This is the cost or whatever. And then you send me the money and I make the deposit.
Now, what happens is, okay.
I don't be fronting, but so much.
Because I feel like what happens like on Airbnbs, okay, we're looking at Airbnb, it's X amount of dollars. Everybody needs to pay this deposit by this time. Well, we are looking at 4 people going. At the X amount of time, only 2 people that paid their deposit. We need to book this because it could possibly get sold out, whatever. We only got 2 deposits. The other people are like, we're going, but it's kind of slow with their, we're going. What then happens on this group trip?
Say that one more time. That last part, they going, but
They say they're going, but they just haven't been able to pay their deposit just yet. What then happens? Because we need to book this Airbnb, let's just say, this villa.
I've been in a couple of situations. I think you need to know the people that you with.
Fair.
Probably too much of my business. When we went to Amsterdam the first time to see Beyonce, she dropped them tickets kind of like how she dropped these tickets. And it was kind of like, nobody's prepared right now. I got other responsibilities, B.
We should have been prepared for Renaissance. Not we should have been, but like the people.
We should have been. But I called one of my homegirls like, yo, I got X, Y, and Z already lined up for this month. Like it was I couldn't move. I couldn't shift anything around. I'm trying to make this trip. And my homegirl was like, you know what? Don't worry about it. I'll front that part. I front it. I got it. And then I either paid her back or I picked up more on the room, which is usually what typically happens. Now, to your point, I don't do this with everybody. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I have been on a couple of group trips and I'll be like, I don't know y'all like that. I don't travel enough with you to know that I'm gonna get my money back. So I'll be like, when somebody be like, you got it this time. I got 10 on it. Car ride. I don't got no. But my homegirls that I travel with regularly, we do that. Like me, my Mara, my Kim girlies, like those 2 girlies, we be like, you got the car this time, don't worry about it. I got the car next time. Okay, you got the car next time. You got the car next time. And then by the time the end of the trip, we're looking around like, how we settling up? You good? Okay, don't worry about the one to the airport. I'll pay for that one. But I don't do that with everybody because you
everybody
be like this girl that went to Morocco and Egypt, and you be like, Carol, say it was fraud on your car. You be like, you a scammer.
Yeah, absolutely not. Okay. I just wanted to ask that question because that's happened before. And in my past life, I've been the girly to be like, okay, I'm gonna pay the deposit, y'all pay me back. And luckily I ain't been with a scammer, so it ain't been too bad. But I've loved the freedom to not have to front people in my professional travel agent journey. It's been so much more or so much less stress to plan a group trip because I don't got to put out anything at all to just say, okay, I'm going to reserve this trip. And also, you can pay your deposit when you need to pay your deposit. I'm going to pay mine on my own. And you can make your payments. Do your payment plan. I don't know how I was operating in the world of travel before being a travel agent because I feel like, number one, I lost out on money with commissions. I've lost out on getting those discounts and perks with, the access that we have to certain suppliers and also fronting money. What was I thinking? I'm out here wilding. Like I'm paying for you and hoping that you're going to pay me back. So I thought that was an interesting question about about the travel in a group sense. Okay. Thank you for answering that.
No worries. We're going to slide right on forward though, because another part of the group trip element or dynamic is moving as a unit versus doing your own thing. We don't have to really stay here too long because we've kind of talked about this on other episodes. Should group trips mean you're sticking together or is it okay to break off? What do you think, Tia?
I think it's okay to definitely break off. I appreciate a group trip that gives you time to do things on your own. I like a group trip where you can just like, oh, it's a day of leisure. Okay, great. I'm going to go do some things that may not have been on the itinerary or that other people might not want to do. I do like if you're going on a group trip for the most part, I can appreciate that when the group stays together for like planned activities. Do you have to do them all? Absolutely not. But it just becomes to me, what's the point if you go on a group trip and everything that you're doing is by yourself? Like you could have just went on a solo trip. Like why did you come here to do everything on your own? Like I've been on a group trip with people and like one person was just like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I'm gonna go do something else. And it's just like, well, what you come on a group trip for? Like you're free to do whatever you want to do, but also you could have just came by yourself. But I do understand
that so 2 parts of this that I'm hearing from you is that one is if you're on a group trip, you should be doing group things.
At
at
least
some point.
some at some point, yeah. But I was gonna get to also. I think that I get that because I'm asking like, well, why'd you come on a group trip? You could have just came on your own. It can be way more expensive to travel solo, even if you want to travel solo. Traveling solo can be more expensive than traveling in a group unit. I saw that. I was planning a trip to Ghana for spring break, and as the people started dropping off and dwindling, I said, oh yeah, I'm not doing this either solo or as two people, just me and Travis, because what it looked like going double and what it looked like going with six people was totally different. So I get that. But
Mhm.
I am speaking totally to the point of people who travel in groups who are like discarding everything that you're doing as a group and just kind of like they want to be a solo traveler, which I don't mind a solo traveler, but a solo travel on a group trip, like a majority solo traveler, I don't understand it personally.
Right.
But breaking off doing your own thing, no, I don't have a problem with that because I do that. My Braylon and told y'all I see you later. And Braylon will say, she'll see you later. What's your take?
Well, one thing I absolutely agree in doing free things on my own.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind telling people. There's been one trip I've been on where I actually was with y'all, where I don't think I told anybody I had something else planned, and I just kind of did it. And I think it was kind of taking a little shady from some people. I wasn't in the, I didn't have the capacity to talk numbers with people and talk all the things. So I just kind of ran off on my own. So me personally, I do believe in doing things on my own. Typically, in most settings, I will inform the group in advance of something that I'm doing and give them the opportunity to join in if they want to. I am very much a Capricorn, and I have a peopling limit, and I recognize my travel levels. So in this particular case, I was just like, nah, it's too much. I just need a moment away from 9 people, like just for me. And splitting my time up. And I mean, it probably, like I said, it wasn't necessarily received well by everyone. It's kind of like, she ain't tell nobody. But I was kind of like, I'll see y'all when I get back. Y'all be all right.
I mean,
Um,
to that point, I agree. Like we both are agreeing that you can dip off and do your own thing, but I can definitely. I mean, I was there, so I can attest to the not necessarily received well, and I think also because it was to the point like, especially when you're in a group and you go and do something that people would probably want to do. So
you
it's
know,
just like, well, dang, like that would have been
to be
cute, like,
to
and
be
I get that
fair,
you were at your people limit, so I mean, fair enough, but to
to
that
be fair,
point, like.
because I knew people would want to do it. I think that was the other, and this probably sounds shady, and people are probably viewing it like, "Dang, you really felt that way?" Even more shady. But I really kind of felt like I just did not want to. Let's tell the people. I'll tell y'all what I was doing. I went to get new pictures for my travel brand, and I hired a photographer. And hiring a photographer on a trip, typically the more people you add, the more time that is allotted and the more expensive it also becomes. The number of people on this group trip was almost like we had like 9 people on this group trip, and a lot of them like pictures and things. So at first I was like, I
You
should
probably would have
offer
had three. It would have been me, you, and a guy.
a guy, maybe. I don't know. Because other people also, I think I heard little murmurs, but you don't know if I would have wanted to do it. Well, sorry, I don't do this all the time. However, in this particular moment, my thought process was either we get a short time and we run it through all of the pictures and blah, blah, blah. So I was just like, you know what? This will be my escape moment from the group and I'll come back. But I do believe in doing my own thing. I typically do tell people. Now, here is the other caveat. I'm going to tell you the other reason. There were a lot of thoughts that I had about this particular trip, but I also feel
Okay.
this way on other trips. One thing I will say in doing my own thing, if I tell you something that I am doing and you are now wanting to include yourself in that activity because it is a group trip and you want to have that heavy group element, which is okay. I really don't want to hear what you got to say when we get to the spot now. Like, I know we got to wake up at 4, 5 a.m. to do X, Y, and Z. I know this is about to be a hike. I know that it's this thing's not particularly about our trip because she's
Hmm.
looking at me crazy. But this is just in
No,
things in
I'm
general.
processing. I'm listening.
Yeah, like this is just in things in general. Like I don't I don't want to hear all of the things. Like, because to be honest, you probably really didn't want to do this anyway, and it was okay for you to stay back. Like even when we went to Bali and I wanted to stay in the treehouse. There is a treehouse. I saw it on Netflix. It was cheap, y'all. Like, it was like $25 a night. It was super cute. And there are people that were interested in doing it because that's not something they would normally do. But we also stayed at a hostel. This is a tree house. It is a tree. Actually, it was bamboo, so it's grass. It's a grass house. Okay. It's outside with the bugs, and people were not comfortable and they were feeling away and they had an attitude about it. But it wasn't because let me tell you, I sent them to the Netflix show. I sent them to YouTube.
You gave them plenty of context.
I did. So for me, don't come in with your nastiness on my experience inside the group trip. Especially if it was explained to you. Like, it'd be different if I put a bag over your head and threw you in the back of a van and just popped up somewhere, which ain't nobody doing. So I don't know. I have mixed feelings about participation inside a group trip.
I get that. And I guess you're also a group trip host as well. And I'm also a wearer outer of grace. So I think that we probably look at it a lot different too. And I also am very much to my detriment a people pleaser. So I can see where that kind of dips off and is like, but I'm also with you on the sentiments of, I gave you all the information now, shut up. So I'm with you on that as well. I get you. I feel you. But I would have liked to have my picture taken. I like pictures.
Next time.
Girl, I know that time. I ain't going back to Cyprus. But
you act like we ain't never gonna ever be on another group trip again.
That's why I said Cyprus particularly.
I'm sorry. We can go back to Cyprus and take more pictures if you like. I really like that photographer.
It's okay. It's okay. Cyprus was cool. I got all that I needed from there. I don't have to go back there for a couple of years. I can have some time in between. So
look like we got a new comment. That's awkward conversation. Because this was, honey, clearly this was a okay. Tossed us a comment that said, I appreciate a long time, but I had a group trip to Ghana and one person dished us the entire trip. It was strange because she did absolutely nothing with us, like hang with us sometimes. Yeah, I'm kind of like, Tia, why you here then? Like, you should participate in some of the things.
Something like, you don't have to do everything, but like, and then it makes it awkward when you do finally come around if you are missing everything. And maybe sometimes even, and I mean, people aren't necessarily owed an explanation, but like, if you got an explanation or something, like, I ain't feel good. I don't, like, we've had group trips where people are like, I'm not, like the trip to Cyprus. I think one night we went out, you was like, no, you and a couple people said y'all weren't going out. Or like when I've gone to Lebanon on a group trip, I think people didn't want to go, like just different trips. People say they don't feel like doing it. Fair enough. Cool. It's fine. But the whole trip, that gives off a little bit weird energy for me. So,
yeah. Honey, you need to book you an expat explorer or something like that if you want to do some stuff.
Yeah, like to do things that's not with necessarily people. Like, yeah, expat explorer is a good one. Or a book with Never Unpack or Take the World Traveling. We can set it up for you to do whatever you want.
Then there's that. Okay. Here's the question for you, Tia. What's worse, someone ditching the group or forcing everyone into activities they don't want to do?
Can you repeat?
What's worse, ditching the group or forcing people into activities that they didn't want to do?
Forcing people into activities they don't want to do, because then you get attitudes. Like you don't want to pull anybody's teeth to do anything, in my opinion.
The thing I thought is you didn't know we was doing this before you decided to come on this trip. Like, why are you here? Listen, y'all, I love a group trip. I am very selective about.
Do you?
I do. But I am a very selective person about who I travel with. I feel like that Cyprus trip, I was really stretched to my personal travel limits. It was a completely new element for me.
In what way?
I had never traveled on a group trip with men before. So that was a new dynamic for me.
Okay.
And even how men think on trips and how girls tend to move on trips is different. It was way more people, and I felt like it was a lot of things, to me perspective, was just in the air of some things. I feel like when I'm on a smaller trip, some things are just more nailed down, rooms, whatever, all of those things are kind of discussed in advance.
So question to that point then, like because in all transparency, I mean, we know we were traveling amongst friends. It wasn't like a business trip where we were hosting a trip. Why not, or for you or anybody else that may have questions or apprehensions about group trips that you're traveling on, why not say something?
I don't think,
Because this is my first time hearing about. I mean, and in retrospect, I mean, as a travel professional, I probably should have thought about it. But again, traveling with friends, I feel like is a different nuance in planning things. But like with accommodations, I don't think I even. And maybe we had this conversation, y'all. I could be a little forgetful, but that's not something that I think was like discussed or something. So why not talk about it before or in the nailing it down planning stages of it to
to,
not
to answer
be,
your question, one of the reasons is because the core of this group has actually traveled together. So I was a new person in the travel group. I
Mm-hmm,
wasn't, this is not, most of you actually have been on a variety of trips, and a variety of combinations of you have been on the same trips together. So there were
mm-hmm,
some things and some dynamics and some experiences that y'all were kind of aware of that not necessarily I was aware of. So more so, it was more like trying not to come in being that alpha personality, but trying to figure out the dynamics, the nuances, and how this group moves. And clearly, even when we got to the house, I might have been side eyeing, but the majority of the group was like, "Oh yeah, this is what we do." Like everybody moved to where they moved to. Somebody got an air mattress. Somebody asked for a blanket. Somebody, it wasn't a thing at all. It was just a new experience for me. And in that space, I was just kind of like, oh, okay, this is different. But again, this is
mm-hmm.
the most people I've traveled with who I knew but didn't know. I like to be very clear on that. Like we're friends, but
You
I
don't
don't
know
know.
them travel wise.
Yeah, I don't even know them staycation wise, the majority of them. Because
Fair
even
enough.
in the spaces that we've been, we've never shared like a hotel. Like you're different.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'd be over at Cooper Castle every other weekend sometimes, like so
Yeah.
knowing you guys and knowing how you guys move and operate was a different space than being with people that I know of. We're friendly, we're in group chats, but I don't know your travel personality because some people travel
Ooh.
personality is not the same that they present in a regular space or setting.
What is
Um
your travel personality? That's good right there. Like you
yeah,
should
I
know
have
that
a
before you travel.
I have an episode dropping for my Never Unpack page on travel personalities next week. It should maybe
Oh,
by the
look at us
weekend.
aligning. I have a
Yeah.
quiz dropping soon about travel personalities. Look at God.
Oh, okay. Same. All right. Now here's another question for you. Ooh, let's see. Now, I was gonna ask you, have you ever had a solo moment on a group trip that was better than the group experience?
Meaning?
I guess maybe
um,
you dipped off and did your own thing, and then might have been better than. I haven't really had that necessarily. Not saying it was
yeah,
better. My solo moments are good, but not saying it was better
yeah.
than the overall trip.
Um, yeah, no, I can't really say like a particular moment. Because here's the other thing as well. I think I do so well in group trips because I love people. I love doing things in, I won't say groups, but I like people I like doing stuff by myself. Now, don't get me
Mhm.
wrong. I love a solo moment. This year is supposed to be dedicated to more solo trips and things. And I love Tia time, but I really do love and thrive in settings where people are. Like, I love the communication. I love when we're traveling to be out talking about this particular cuisine or the traditions that they have, the culture that they're participating in. I like that. So, I
Yeah.
don't have a particular situation where I've ducked off to do something solo that I was just like, this is so much better by myself than it would be in a group. Like, no,
Yeah,
I
I
don't. I
don't
don't
think
have
I don't
anything.
think I felt that way. But even to Tia's point, you really do love a good group trip, and you like numbers in your group trip. I'm a more intimate group trip kind of girl. Learning that about myself. I like
Mm,
I like a decent sized group of people. I'm into hosting things for sure. Um, I don't know. I think I would need to try a few more larger groups to come to a full on conclusion. But I definitely entered my solo trip soft girl era a long time ago, where it just made sense for me in my travel space at that time, but
mhm.
I get it.
And I think that that also is like a a way, not a way, but I can see why you would love, not love more, but like those more intimates because you're going from solo to intimate to now maybe even bigger group trips and things like that. And you know what? For me, honestly, the bigger group trips, 10 plus and things like that, or more than five, I'll say, they're easier to navigate because I think the least amount of people that you have, you would think the least amount of people who have, you're navigating those things. But I've found that the more people that are in groups, at least if somebody got an attitude about something, they can go over there and talk about it, shade about it to a person in their corner. It don't got to infect the whole group. Or if people want to duck off and do their own things, they can at least pair off. I've just found that there is a little bit more, maybe not positivity is not the word I'm looking for, but it's different with different sizes. So I feel you on the
I
intimacy,
think
but
I will say, to your point, in curating smaller groups, is important that personalities mesh and people kind of understand dynamics. One of my good homegirls, Phoebe, she just had a birthday. Shout out to Phoebe. She had a birthday this past Sunday. And I
happy birthday,
realized
Phoebe.
I met her 10 years ago. We were travel teaching and we were in California. So we ended up doing like a weekender trip to Vegas.
Okay.
And we've been traveling ever since, like in real life. And it's so wild and crazy, our story. But Phoebe is one of these people I travel with her so much. We don't see each other often. We talk a lot through social media. But even when we were talking about expanding our circle of people to go on trips, she was looking at me like, now we got something here.
Wait a minute.
What does this look like when we start adding other personalities? And she was like, Brandlin, I don't know. And I was like, quiet, let's just see. And it was definitely a different dynamic. Like I said, understanding personalities. And then again, to your point, we're talking travel personalities too. We both will be talking about travel personalities. You don't know your friend until you travel with them. Like, you don't know. Brandlin tired in the city. I know I can go home. I literally left an event on Sunday. Like, I'm out. I'm done. I'll see y'all later. I can still smile right now, right? We get an hour from our villa because we found some place and we just kept walking in a different direction. And now I'm looking like, am I really about to spend $100 to get back to our hotel? Now I got to sit here and kind of put on a good face, change my energy, and then people looking at you like, well, why are you so down in the dumps? Like, child, I'm trying to pull it together. Give me a moment.
Know your travel personality, baby.
You do. Let's jump into the last part because we're narrowing down on time here. Friendships, expectations, and knowing who to invite. Are friendships tested the most on trips? And how do you actually, that was a good transition. How do you know who to invite? You be inviting everybody to you, or do you got like a list?
No, I have a set amount of certain people that I invite to certain things, and it has become a question of I ain't get invited. Why you ain't invite me? Number one, because you're not coming. I'm not wasting my unlimited text plan to send you this message, first of all. Second of all, look at your attitude now. So there is a list of people that I start off with that I invite to certain trips, depending on what they are. I am now, since I'm becoming a group trip hottie, figuring out the ways to open it up to more people who are in my clientele. But because even though I'm inviting everybody, I'm vetting them also. So there's a vetting process that you have to go through to get on these group trips. I have to see what your travel personality is. I have to see if, not necessarily down to the ground like this, but are you a morning excursioner person? Do you want your trips packed to the brim? Do you want some space in between your trips, like in your excursions and things like that? How are you traveling? Are you a first class? Are you looking for luxury? Are you looking for budge lux? Are you just looking for straight we pinch your pennies? I don't want to say it like that, but like, what is your travel personality, your travel style? So even though sometimes I do invite everybody on like my WonderCo trips, there is a vetting process that I go through. But like on smaller trips, more intimate trips where like it's friend based, I do have a list of people that I send those invites out to. And then if they are like, can I get a +1? Who are they? What they travel style is like? Then I go from it like that. What about you?
I'm extremely selective. I like tried and true for sure. Meaning I've been on a trip with you. I kind of know your vibe. I know your energy. I also feel like I read people's energies well, and I'm pretty good with mixing certain personalities together. So there's certain people like, nah, that person won't really work with this group. But there's other people that I'm like, yeah, I can put you with this group and you'll thrive. I have a couple of friends that I'll be like, yeah, I can take you anywhere,
You've
you
done it with
know.
your seating as well, like your birthday, like any events. Berlin is also, so my girl is a entrepreneur Negro. Like she be doing the thing, okay? She be doing the thing. But like in her events, she'll do like specific seating sometimes too, and she will pair up people. I don't know how she be knowing it, but she'll know like certain people to pair together. And at the end of the night, like her birthday, we just passed, we celebrated in Charlotte, and at the end of the night, it was like, I knew y'all would sit well together. Y'all paired well together. I was like, we like cheese and wine. We did good. So you
Yeah.
are good in that aspect. I agree.
Yeah, I do. I like now. I love giving people assigned seats at any event of mine. You will more than likely have a seat, but I do try to put you with people that I know you will mesh well with. I try to do that with trips and intimate activities and stuff like that. Um, but no, yeah, there is an invite list. There's definitely a start to the invite list, and there's no shade to anybody. There are people who've been like, I want to get in on the invite, and I try to sometimes think of ways to like, okay, well, what will work with this group of people?
Mm-hmm.
Um, the upcoming Beyonce trip, one of the friends originally we kind of went in. I was like, listen, I know people want to get in on this action, but right now we are out for sales. First steps first is ticket.
First things first.
Yes. And my homegirl was like, well, I have 2, 3 other friends that were interested. And I was like, well, what does that mean? Does that mean they want us to help them get tickets? Does that mean they want to stay at the hotel? Like, what does this mean? And she gave some more information. And I think I was even like, have you traveled with these people before? I asked. I
That's the
did.
question.
Because
I
I
mean, those
know,
are questions that need answers, to be
yeah,
honest.
I know what it's like to travel with the two of you, but adding
Mm-hmm.
3 more personalities, what does that look like? And then I think I was
Mm-hmm.
even upfront, and I may not be doing everything with the group. Like, so because I did ask, like, what is your thought process? Like, you want us to after we get all this stuff, are we moving as one unit for everything, or are we like meeting up for dinner, or just meeting up for activity, or just meeting up for the concert and just figuring those things out? But yeah, I think I'm a bit selective. I'm trying
Mm-hmm.
to grow and evolve in that space. So Bali was my largest girls trip. I think it was 6 of us, 5 of us, 5 of us.
I think some
5 of
people
us.
appreciate that though. I think some people appreciate um the attention to detail when it comes to things like that, like making sure that personalities don't clash and things. While I mean, again, to travel personalities and your travel style, I think it goes to, who are you? Are you the person that's just like, just put me on a group trip, I'll figure out who my people are? Everybody that's on it might not be my people, but I'm gonna find them. Or are you the person that's like, no, I want to go on a trip where everybody's vibing together, period, point blank, no separate pockets of friends and things? But I think you just need to know who you are traveling before you go on these group trips, and you need to know who the people who you are traveling with are as well. And I mean, that's why you book trips with people like me and Brenlin, who put those types of things together for you to figure it out. So yeah.
That's what we do. All right, so we're gonna ease into a game. We have a
We love a
game
game.
called Who is the Problem? Now, I know based off the visual that is on the screen right now, it looks like me or Tia is the problem, and we are not the problem. To be honest, 1000%, we are your solution for all things travel. Like we said before, we are both into the travel industry, and we would love to not only are we willing or able to book your travel experiences, we're also interested in getting you involved in the business, and we have the capabilities of coaching you on our team. So we would love to have you there. Again, check out the travelagentworkshop.com. Sponsor code Never Unpack for me, or Take the World for Tia. All right, so let's get into this travel confessions game. Who is the problem? So Tia, we're gonna have a couple of different scenarios, and
Okay.
in those scenarios, we're just gonna talk freely about who is the problem, child. Like, is it a problem or is it not a problem? May not be any problem. Okay.
Let's see.
All right. All right. So the first one is someone books first class while the rest of the group is in coach. Are they wrong? We already kind of talked
No,
about this. No,
absolutely
absolutely
not.
not.
Nope, not a problem.
A person in the group ditches everyone to meet up with the local they just met.
I mean, Just be safe. Do your thing. I don't think that that's a problem. I just think safety comes first.
Interesting. I might disappear in the city, but I don't think I'll disappear outside the city. I think I got boundaries. I don't
Okay,
think I'm
so
running off with a local on a trip, but I might
funny
run off in the
situation.
city.
Funny. Wait, you might run. Oh, you might run off in the city, but not with necessarily people. So we were me, my homegirl Jaleesa, and Tim. Went to Malaysia for I can't remember what it was. We went for like a little long weekend. It was such a dope trip. We went down this street. I cannot remember the street in Malaysia. It's kind of like I guess your version of like Bourbon Street, like, and you can bar hop all through here. They have specials all night where you can just go through these different places and bar hop. So we're hopping around or whatever, and me and Jaleesa are walking. We look up, Tim is gone. We're like, where's Tim? Where did Tim go? Who has Tim? I'm texting him, I'm calling, he's not answering. So me and Jaleesa are just walking. I'm freaking out. It's like 10 minutes have gone by. And I'm like, who's gonna call his mom? That's my first question. Like, who's gonna tell his mom that we lost him? And I'm looking at her like it has to be you because I can't do this. So we're walking down the street and we look up, we get to like the corner of the street, and we again, this is like 10 minutes only that have passed. I look up and Tim goes, "Hey Tia baby, what's up?" He is sitting down at a restaurant that has like this outside patio with like these 6 people. And I'm like, what are you doing? Why would you leave? And how did you get nestled down in a dinner? What are you doing? And so, long story short, he's sitting down, like having dinner with they're local to the area and that they live there. They're these Nigerian guys and they've been living in Malaysia for like a long time. And they're talking to Tim. They're like having a good time. They're like, come sit down, eat with us. And I'm like, okay. But I'm also fussing at Tim because how are you just gonna duck off and leave us like that and not say a word? You didn't answer your phone or nothing. He was like, and he has his hands deep in like some local food that he is eating with his hands. So he literally couldn't answer his phone. I'm like, you don't know these people. Why are you eating with them? He's like, no, the restaurant brought it out. It's cool. He from South Carolina. He is country to the core. He just think everybody is good people, which he is so humble in his heart and so sweet. But I'm just like, Tim, what the heck? It ended up turning out the whole weekend. They take us out, buy sections in the club, like end up taking us to a Brazilian steakhouse. Like it ended up being so perfect. But I was only mad in the fact that he did not share this information with us. Not that he went with the locals. Like it ended up being a great situation for everyone, but tell somebody, let somebody know, be safe. It just was, it could have been so unsafe. He could have been taken. Thank God he wasn't, but oh my God.
Yeah, let us know for sure.
No, that was the problem.
All right, here's one. One friend refuses to use rideshare apps and insists on public transportation.
Is it like a bus? That's public transportation.
Or bus or train or
I mean, sometimes sure, like I'm with it, but also how long is it taking us to get there? Like,
yeah, I don't know if this is a problem. I just kind of think, to me, this becomes a problem when we feel like we have to move as a unit. When you're okay with making whatever decisions you want to make, and then you get in there when you get there, I think it's fine. I don't know if you remember in Amsterdam, my feet were killing me. So I was doing rideshare apps only. And you were like, the train or whatever public train, you were like, this is much quicker and easier. I just think it depends on who you are and what you got going on. I've been, and that has happened to me on 2 different trips. That happened to me with me and you in Amsterdam. And I was actually big on taking the train in Paris, where some friends I met were on the trip. They were very big on rideshare at the time. I was like, why are we spending $80 to get across Paris when I can spend €2 and get there on the train? So they left me, I left them. And then it was crazy because I ended up doing some way cooler things. Because of course,
also there's an instance where you dipped off from the group and had a better experience.
Yeah, I guess it is. And then because they left Versailles early, I went out to Versailles. I took the train. I did get lost, which was, I just think it's part of the experience. I did get lost, but they only did the Hall of Mirrors. They only did the front part. They didn't even know there was a whole property in the back where the Queen's quarters were. So it was a whole thing. And they were like, and then one of the girls that did the car share, she was like, I'm sticking with you for the rest of the trip. You keep doing cool things. Like, okay. And my version is cheaper. A person wants to leave early every night while everyone else is trying to party. I don't know if is this a problem? I'm the person that's leaving early every night. Am I the problem? I looked at this and I was like, am I the problem?
No, I mean, I don't think it's a problem if like we're in a group where it's enough people who can be out. I think if it becomes a point where it's like we're in that small intimate setting or we're far, far away from the hotel, or like it becomes a thing like because you're going back to the hotel or home, then everybody has to go. And when I say everybody, that could be two people. It could be like if it's a bigger group, then no. I don't necessarily think it's a problem if you want to go to bed and other people want to turn up, but I do think it can be a problem if it's like every time and everyone else's plans are affected because I'm saying you, but not just you in general. The person that wants to leave doesn't want to compromise. I think there's a compromise in everything. Like, okay, tonight you wanna chill, that's cool, but for the next time, we gonna need you to stick with us, possibly.
Tanya said this sounds similar to a time someone I know who wandered off without telling anyone in the group. And then there's that.
Okay, so she's talking about me. I did not wander off. I went outside to get some air, guys. I was very hot. It was a very long night. I did not wander off. My husband knew where I was. Okay, he found where I was.
He found where you were. All right, a friend says they're on a budget but keeps ordering expensive food and expecting to split the bill evenly. Child, you don't belong on my trip and you will never be invited again.
Oh,
you are the problem. I don't know.
I agree.
How did you feel?
I agree. I mean, it's not. I think this is pretty. I think everybody would feel this way.
I will also say this. I'm gonna add this in there, and it's probably every group trip. I feel like is an audition. You might not make the next one. Like, that's a personal thought of mine. Like, just throwing that out there for whoever's watching this. Okay.
Just so you know.
Just so you know. One person always wakes up late, making the whole group miss plans. I will leave you. You are a problem, but I will leave you. We'll leave you.
I think any situation, whether you waking up late, not wanting to go, any situation where you're putting others in jeopardy of missing plans, then yes, you are a problem. And this is coming from a not morning person, but I will wake up to go. I just don't want to talk to you in the morning, but I'm gonna go.
If you're showing consistencies in this, like you are never going to be on time, like just know I will leave you and you will need to find a way to get there. If you're really interested in coming. And I'm not refunding you any money. I'm not giving you any money back. Don't worry about it. These are my personal group trips. True. Like, I'm just saying. Shrug shoulders.
Y'all have been warned.
Listen. Anyway, so we have a travel confession corner. Worst person you have ever traveled with. Now, you do not have to share names. No names are needed. You can just give us a little brief synopsis, story, whatever it is.
Y'all please put in the comment the worst person you've ever traveled with. I want to know so bad. Put in the comments. Worst person I've ever traveled with is a personality type, is a travel personality, and that's difficult people. I mean difficult in the way like I was just talking about. If you are not willing to compromise, and it's in a group trip, obviously we're talking about group trip settings. If you're not willing to compromise at any point, if you feel like the trip is all about what you want to do all of the time, if you are one of those people who are like kind of stuck in your ways about things, you are the worst person to travel in a group trip with, because you're not the only one on the trip. You are not the only one who has feelings. You are not the only one who has things that they want to do. You are the worst.
I actually have a person. It was a young lady I went to South Africa with. I've never talked to that girl since. I have zero words, and that was back in 2017, y'all. I have had zero words to say. It was my birthday trip. I again getting used to groups. I was living in Abu Dhabi at the time. We were trying to figure out a trip to do on a break. I hit up another girl. She was like, "Yeah, this girl wants to go on a trip too." Because I hit them. I was like, "Hey, do you want to travel with me?" Trying to find a group. Trying to find a pairing at the time. And the girl was just so nasty. I did something she didn't like, and it wasn't even like it was rude. It was just that I didn't do it when she wanted me to do it. That was the problem. And I was just kind of like, I kept reading my book. We were driving through wine country in South Africa, and I was peaceful. She wanted me to tip the driver
Turn
then.
up
I was like, can we just tip him when we
when we
stop?
stop.
She didn't like that, and she got mad, and she on my birthday, my actual birthday.
Are y'all traveling on your birthday? Is this happening
Yeah,
real
we were
time?
traveling on my birthday. We went to Afropunk, and she
Ooh.
is not talking to me. Like, she did not speak to me. And it just so happened to I happened to run into my very good friend from America. We were my very first roommate after college. I
Oh.
ran into this chick all the way in South Africa.
You didn't know they were gonna be there?
Didn't know they were gonna be there.
Oh,
Actually,
that's
somebody
cool.
saw my timeline and saw their timeline and sent me a message saying, "Hey, so and so is there. Y'all should meet up. Y'all in the same place." And we ended up messaging. We met up, and I was telling her how much of a wench this girl had been, and it was just like, why is she here? Like, why are you still coming out with us and you don't want to? She was so rude, y'all. She didn't even. We went to birthday dinner, so I invited my friend, my old friend. Girl gets to my birthday dinner. My whole birthday, she doesn't say happy birthday. She don't say nothing. She don't say nothing to me the whole day. I would never travel with that lady again. Ever
So
again. And I
then
think
that comes
she's
to question too. Y'all put in the comments also, would you prefer somebody to travel with you whether you're already in the trip or they're thinking about going if you know their attitude might not always be in first place? If they attitude be in last place, would you want to travel with them for numbers and kind of just deal with them? I've dealt with
no,
somebody like that. It's somebody that in my mind I feel like I probably shouldn't do group trips with anymore. But me and Grace, we be giving it
no,
to
no.
people.
No. Oh, especially on group trips where I'm spending my money. Like, don't worry about it. We won't do it again. Don't worry about it. We don't
Don't
have to.
even worry about it.
We don't have to. All right. So we're going to move into celebrations. Tia, you have a celebration this week.
I do have a celebration for myself, but because she has been sticking with us this whole episode, I do want to wish a happy birthday to Tanya. She's on the line. Her birthday tomorrow with our homeboy Tim. Happy
Woo-hoo!
birthday to you guys. Bum, 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 bum. I can't get to the sound effect quick enough, but happy birthday to y'all. I wish y'all just like so much success, life, love in this next year. There we go. There go our air horn right there. Happy birthday to y'all. And I hope that y'all have the best birthday tomorrow. Can't wait to celebrate you. For me, my celebration is I'm super excited. I talked about my personality quiz that'll be kind of dropping in the next week or whatever, but I'm just really proud at the progress that I'm making and like building up this brand that I have. I said a few weeks ago that I'm in a accelerator course boot camp with my girl Jakaya Brown Chow. She is amazing. She's amazing at marketing and just making you understand your brand and who you are. And I'm in the season of my life that I'm trying to take off even more, and not so much just for myself but for other people. So Brendan and I talk about how we try to level people up and help them realize how they can be successful business owners and things. We give information wherever we can, and I'm trying to do that in my businesses. So I'm really excited about some things that are dropping in the next coming months, next few weeks, and the next few days. Y'all just gonna see a lot coming from me, and I'm just excited about it. Yeah, I'm excited about what's on the horizon. So I want to share just like specifics because y'all will see it drop, but I hope that y'all support both of us in our endeavors, myself and Brenlin, because we both have things coming down the pike. But I'm just excited about what's coming up next for me. So what you got, Brenlin?
I'm super excited just to be closing out this last month or last quarter strong. So March is, like Tia said earlier, we went outside this weekend, y'all, because we have not been outside because the grind is real when you're trying to build something impactful and meaningful and you want it to do well. And you see it as that plan that's, far off in the distance. So I'm just super excited about the end of the quarter. I have some new things happening with my business that are going to help me grow. That's happening this quarter. It starts tomorrow. And I'll share more information about that on another episode. But yeah, last quarter, hopefully we'll see a book, new business things, and YouTube is going to be popping, y'all. So look out for more videos from Never Unpack for me on there.
All right. Super proud of you, Brenlin. Good job. Good job. Good job. And y'all, we also would love to celebrate you as well. So make sure that y'all are dropping your celebrations each week. You can drop them on the YouTube or even DM them to us. We would love to share those on our pages. So yeah.
Yeah. You guys, this has been really an amazing episode. I'm gonna toss it over to Tia so that you can hear a little bit more. We've actually been pubbing the business the entire episode. So we really love you guys joining in on us or joining in with us. We talked a lot about group travel today, the nuances of group travel, budgets, when to leave your friends in the group or when not to leave your friends in the group. And we talked about the pains and stressors of what it looks like when you're talking how your friendships take hits on group trips and understanding your travel personalities as well, right? While you're on these trips. So I'm gonna toss it over to Tia because you can catch us live every Friday, but she got some more information for you.
Absolutely. So, as Brandon said, you can catch us live every single Friday. This is going to change soon. So, right now, y'all can catch us on the TikTok, on the Instagrams, and on the Facebook. But we want you to come on over to YouTube. And also, if you're listening to this where we're streaming, we stream on Apple Podcasts and Spotify right now. But by the time you hear us, we may be on all platforms. Just make sure that you connect with us so that you can see when we're dropping, where we're dropping new episodes at. We drop new episodes every Monday on Spotify and Apple Music. So make sure that you stay tuned in and also subscribe, like, comment on our YouTubes. Berlin is Never Unpacked. I am Tia Takes the World, so that you can stay connected not only with the takeoff, but with other ventures that we are doing. We both are digging into this YouTube game and we want to share some information with y'all. Outside of that, like Berlin said, we have been talking about being travel professionals because that's what we are. That's what we do. That's what we want to bring to you. So if you've ever thought about starting your own travel business, if you're the planner of group trips, or if you've been thinking about planning group trips, if you're somebody that just likes to travel and you want to maximize on your travels, if you're somebody who everybody is always like, you plan good stuff, you take good trips, you do those things, and you're tired of just getting paid thank yous and for doing it for fun and for free and for going on Canva, just putting together pretty things, visit Travel Agent Workshop so that you can learn how to be not a volunteer travel agent. We want you to be a paid travel agent, okay? I just got paid a couple of weeks ago off of some commissions, okay? Commissions on trips that I didn't even book myself. I can talk to you about that if you join the travel agent workshop or if you hit either myself or Brandon up about starting your own travel agent business. When you go to travelagentworkshop.com, all you have to do is put in sponsor code for Brandon Never Unpack, or if you would like to be coached by myself, Take the World. We will guide you through step by step, whichever one you sign up with. We'll guide you through step by step on how to run a successful travel agent business, okay? Because it's one thing just to have a business. Anybody can have a business, all right? Anybody can be an entrepreneur, a business owner. It's something else to have a successful business. And that's what we're teaching you how to do, because Brandon and I are doing it and we don't gatekeep. Okay. The other part of that is that we want you to follow us on social media. Okay. Follow us on social media. Brandon at Never Unpacks on all things social media, and myself at Tia Takes the World. We're not only sharing travel information with you, we're giving you tips and tricks on how to have that soft life. Okay. We don't want you to work hard. We want you to work smart. Brandon just dropped something about some funeral noodles that people are eating in China. Okay. If you're sitting up there thinking, wait, funeral noodles, funeral ramen, go and check out Brandon's page. I'm dropping information about all things travel, all things lifestyle, expat life, anything that you could think of that has to do with all things that are good. Follow myself and Brandon, and we would love to share those things with you. Again, you can catch us every single Friday on YouTube. But if you want to catch us in the meantime, in between time, just follow us on socials. Now, we like to start the show with the motivation, and we like to end it with an affirmation. Berlin, do you want to give us this affirmation for today?
Yes, ma'am, I do. So, affirmation for the day is my journey, my pace, my peace. Listen, group trips are a thing, right? That's what they are. And you can save money, you can enjoy yourself, you can learn about other people. But everything you do in this life is your journey, your pace, your peace. So, my journey, my pace, my peace.
My peace. I love that. Thank you so
I love
much for sharing that affirmation with us, Brand. And we want to thank everybody so much for tuning in with us. Please make sure that if you're not subscribed, that you subscribe to both of our pages. Like this video. Leave us a comment on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. Leave us a rating. 5 stars only, please. Only good things. If you have some critiques, hit us in the DMs, all right? We love you guys, and we will see you on next Friday. Thank you so much for joining us. See you next time.